Recognizing the member for Courtenay-Comox.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today in support of the motion of the member from Nanaimo North Cowichan that this House denounces the continuing freedom of convoy protests and affirms that public health orders, including vaccine requirements, are an essential tool in BC's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In early 2020, we became aware of the global threat that became known as COVID-19, and as the weeks and months went by, more was learned about how the virus worked and advice was refined. Different jurisdictions handled the threat in different ways. Here in British Columbia, we had the great fortune of having the experience and talent of Dr. Bonnie Henry to guide us. Her credentials with SARS in Toronto, Ebola in Uganda, polio eradication in Pakistan, all of her expertise inspired confidence. Her public health orders kept us on a path to reduce the impacts of the virus, reducing illness, reducing death, and reducing social and economic impacts. British Columbia fared so much better than many other jurisdictions because of her public health expertise. And we fared better, to echo the member from Vancouver Mount Pleasant, by paddling together as we all faced a common enemy. We could not afford to be led by political ideology. The Premier freed the people of BC from worrying about political interference by making it clear that the public health officer was the person with the expertise and authority on the public health emergency that was the pandemic. And the Minister of Health welcomed the leadership of other parties to truly work together in a cohesive way. We knew we could not afford to be fractured if we were to conquer COVID-19. 2021 became the year of the vaccine, and by 2022, we were really opening up. COVID-19 is still here, as it always will be, in all its evolving forms, but we have tools, vaccines and boosters, and well-learned practices like hand washing and mask wearing, staying home when sick, tools to move forward with greater freedom. But our strongest tool is that we recognize that we are all in this together, which is why it is so important for leaders to stand together today to continue to affirm public health orders, and for leaders not to fan the flames of dissent based on misinformation and extremism that threaten the very foundation of our collective success. Resilience in the face of a pandemic, as we found, requires everyone, including leaders, to come together for everyone's sake. And this entire House, every member, carries a responsibility to support the people of British Columbia and the systems that serve them to build that resilience. We have seen resistance in the convoy protests built on spreading misinformation, unsupported by science. For instance, Dr. Anthony Fauci, leading U.S. public official, portrayed misinformation that is nonsense and very dangerous, causing unnecessary deaths. Resistance built on misinformation subverts the resilience we need to weather the extreme circumstances and changing dynamics of the common enemy, COVID-19. And leaders who remain silent and those who support such efforts undermine people's confidence in our public health system and weaken our resilience. And resistance that is anything but peaceful must be denounced. It's not just a few bad apples, as one member of the opposition publicly stated when a hostile mob of protesters surrounded the RCMP or swarmed the media. These are not great Canadians, as he called them, whether it's harassing a shop owner, obeying public health orders, or spitting on people or intimidating others. The innocent people of BC should not be seen as collateral damage in any cause. The former RCMP member, now official opposition, has been quoted often this day, and I say thank you, when she said at the time, "These kinds of acts of aggression and intimidation towards media or any member of the public are simply unacceptable." It's been a year in the better late than never category. Now is a good time for every leader in this House to stand as one in affirming our public health officials' orders. It's sad that we are not still hearing from the opposition today on the matter. And it's time to denounce the dangerous comments, intimidation tactics, and illegal actions of the so-called Freedom Convoy protests that continue to reverberate in our communities today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker.